I get in some markets probably there's some H1B guys that maybe aren't as qualified. Like say they're giving H1B stuff in San Francisco or like some other town where like there's so many qualified Americans. I can see the anger of maybe some guys who are like really good at the tech or whatever and they are losing it. But in other markets where there's like nobody, I can see where it's like, what are you even angry about? So it's like I think different cities have different markets in terms of like how many Indians desis you bring in.
But if it's undercutting their wages, then that's bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
That is bad. That's bad
regardless. Because then you're saying they're just as qualified.
Right.
But we're going to take the cheaper.
But we're going to take the cheaper guy, indentured servant. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
It is
and you don't have to be a Nazi to be against that.
No,
yes.
you don't.
You could be, just wanting more equality.
Yeah.
And
you can just be like mildly Nazi.
Mildly Nazi, yeah.
The Nazi-ish,
Nazi-ish.
That is weird to be able to just underpay.
Like India, they don't want a bunch of Bangladeshis flooding over the border. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, that's reasonable. Palestinians like, hey, we didn't like all these Eastern European Jews coming over. Everyone's like, oh, that's kind of reasonable. I mean, not in this country, but everywhere else, they're like, that's. Right. So it's like, it is reasonable to be like, hey, I don't want a mass influx of one type of person coming in culturally. Like, it does make sense. Sure. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I just feel like if there was 8 billion Swedish people coming in, people would be like,
100%.
I love fish.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and
we
that's
can
the
all
thing
agree.
about it.
No more Swedes.
Yeah. I mean, not one more.
Not one more. Not one more.
Not one more.
Not one more.
Do you like fish in vinegar? Yeah, thanks, Hans. Thanks. I'm parched. It's like, dude, if there's a influx of, because you remember when Ukraine was like fucking hurt, getting shot at and everything, getting exploded. Every reporter was crying on screen.
This is Usama's take on the news. Remember when Ukraine was getting shot at or whatever, and there's people crying on the news? Like, he really isn't involved. He really is minding his Canadian-owned business.
So every reporter was like, this is Ukraine, not some backwoods turban head locale.
Not some Durka-ass country. This isn't Durka land. This is Ukraine.
ICC place.
Yeah.
And all the footage would be like something like, they look like a hipster from Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Just driving at us.
Exactly.
This could happen in Brooklyn too. And it's like, bro, obviously you've seen that white people deserve more pain in their eyes. So it's like
100% true.
It's racially definitely.
It is. The core of the actual argument right now is purely racial.
Right.
Because you're right. They wouldn't want 85,000 Swedes. These guys would be like, yes, come on in.
I love Kiltish. Let's all drink.
So we need to start the anti-Swedish.
That sounds like we need to divert the attention.
Should we firebomb Ikeas now?
Towards the most polite, well-mannered people on
There's
Earth.
probably a law on the books that we could resurrect.
Well, no,
here's Simpsons.
Anti-Sweden nativism.
Actually, it says here, not one more Swede.
Just throw.